goal to make you banquet. Yes.
Water, hello,
Oh. I'm the sorry.
6:30.
No, where is that?
Is that south?
Are waiting to take.
I told my dad.
Yeah.
Good. The engine running.
Yeah. Yeah, after presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's right after the presentation.
Yeah, when did you get your certificate?
You can. Yeah, we give you.
I'll excuse you as soon as. Okay. We're still gonna get through the 7:20 is the goal. At 7:20, if we're not done, you stand up and make us all shame us.
Yeah, so Mrs. Reagan's and Pat Fury, Mr. Fury, we're trying to get out of here by 7:20. 7:30. That's our goal today.
Presidents Reagan and Fury, just so you know, we have to finish by 7:20 so Allison can make her water polo banquet.
So we're kind of letting everyone know that we're gonna make it quick today.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Please make it live. Are we good? Excellent. Welcome, everybody. We are returning from closed session to open session, and we will start with Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Tsai, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right. We have a report from closed section.
Dr. Gerson,
Yes.
we need to amend that motion to approve the agenda, pulling item 16.5, please.
Are we going to do that now? Okay.
Motion to do 16.5. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
To explain to the public, 16.5 is covered also in 17.6, so it was just in there twice. All right, now the report from closed session. In closed session, the board, by a vote of 5-0, instructed district council to settle the matter of in regarding Jewel Labs, Inc., marketing, sales practices, and products liability litigation, Federal District Court for the Northern District of California, case number 319 MD 02913 WHO, as against Jewel Labs, Inc., and its founders, directors, and board members up to the stipulated amount. Also in closed session, the board directed legal counsel to initiate or intervene in a legal action, social media litigation. The action, the defendants, and the other participant and the other particulars shall once formally commenced be disclosed to any person upon inquiry, unless to do so would jeopardize the district's ability to effectuate service of process on one or more unserved parties, or that to do so would jeopardize the district's ability to conclude existing settlement negotiations to its advantage, and that is also by a vote of 5-0. No, oh, sorry. No, that was not. Then I need to do a roll call on that one. So Dr. Gerson was aye, Dr. Mohammed was aye. Mrs. Park was an abstention, Mrs. Liu was an aye, and Mr. Han was an aye. Thank you. All righty. Let's get back to what page we were on. All right, so now we're on to 8.1, report by student representative and recognition. Ms. Tsai.
Hi, I'm here to give the student report. So West High School is starting their ASB elections and interviews. They're also starting decision day planning. And we recently finished voting for senior superlatives. Glow Rally is also in preparation, and Spirit Week is also beginning next week to lead up to the rally. We have our Olympics event every day this week, and today was track and tug of war. We have the UCLA blood drive being held next Tuesday, and we actually have a record number of signups this year too. For Torrance High School, they had their spring festival movie night with well over 30 clubs selling food. They also have their dual rally, which was, they said, most electric and loudest event they've ever had. They also started their planning their last dance rally, and had a senior freshman buddy reunion at an ice skating rink. South High School has a lip sync event coming up. They finished student versus teacher dodgeball tournament and finished student 3-on-3 basketball tournament. They have class council elections starting next week and are preparing for spring sports pep rally. North High School has ASB elections and starting new campaigning and application season. And they have multicultural week this week to celebrate diversity with various activities like teaching cultural dances and a fashion show. Mind Madness was also very successful with 192 students involved this year. They also had a chalk walk and art show where students make murals along the quad floor. And they have senior best voting starting. They have a lip dub with a couple sports and teachers scheduled to be released in May too. That's it.
Thank you very much. As this is your last night, we want to tell you how appreciative we are of you and your reports, and thank you. Mrs. Liu, would you like to say anything?
No.
Dr. Mohammed? Mr. Hunt?
Yeah, we really enjoyed you. Good luck. Great. I'm so happy for you. All the acceptances. Congratulations.
All right.
The next person is not.
All righty, now we have the report from Torrance Council PTAs, President Terry Reagans.
Takes on.
Oh, there it goes. All right, thank you. Good evening. President Dr. Gerson, School Board, Cabinet, and Community. I am Terry Reagans, the President of the Torrance Council of PTAs for another 3 months. And then I'll be turning over the reins to someone else. So you get to meet someone else, which will be wonderful. It has been a busy month for PTA this past month. First and foremost, I know that you folks announced here about our college and career fair that happened at the end of February. And it was a wonderful event. We had about 1,500 to 2,000 people go through. It's hard to know exactly because we have students and parents coming in and out all the time. Excuse me. And then we also have 15 different informational training things. So there's all kinds of stuff going on, and keeping track of how many people are there is impossible, but it was really well attended. Everyone seemed to appreciate the resources that were provided and the opportunities to meet with the representatives from the colleges and the advanced training opportunities that were there. So thank you for many of you that attended and did join us that day. It was really nice to see you all there. The second thing that happened just a couple of weeks ago was our Reflections recognition event. Reflections is a national art contest that National PTA actually supports, and we have at every one of our schools here in Torrance. So we had students who were being recognized from every school for their excellence in being demonstrating their expression and creativity in various artistic endeavors. And it was really wonderful to see those kids. They come from small to many of the high school kids were taller than me, which doesn't take that much, but it was really nice to have them all there. And we actually, for the first time, had an evening event at one of our auditoriums at Torrance High School. And the parents really appreciated being able to attend. We've had it during the school day before, but they liked having it in the evening and having the alternative of being there and having other family members attend with them. So I think we probably will continue that in future years. And then there was also our Honorary Service Awards dinner, where we recognize the wonderful volunteers that are part of our school communities and the things that they do for those school communities. And we give them an opportunity to sort of spiff themselves up and have a really nice dinner. and share the stage with their fellow volunteers. So thank you all again. Many of you attended both the reflections and our honorary service awards, and we appreciate that. We do have coming up at the end of May, just to give you a heads up, the last Wednesday of May will be the spring brunch, which is our last large event that we have for Torrance Council. It will be at South High School. And the last few years, it's just been a sort of a business meeting, sort of a thing. This time, we're going to make it an actual brunch like it used to be, so that you will actually be hopefully partaking of some potluck sorts of preparations that PTA folks will bring to share with you in terms of foods, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope you will all be able to, as many of you as can join us for that. And we will see you at all of those. And again, thank you for your support and for allowing me to have this opportunity to speak. One last thing. It's never too late to join PTA if you have not. Anyone that's in the community, you can always join at torrancecouncilofptas.org. You can join one or all of the schools in Torrance, and we appreciate your support to do that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Reagans. I enjoyed the College and Career Fair, the Reflections Contest, and the Honorary Service Awards. They were all great.
Great. Thanks.
All right, report from the Torrance Education Foundation, President Pat Fury.
Thank you, President Dr. Gershon, members of the board, Dr. Stowe, cabinet members, and everybody who's watching or here in person. You're so blessed that I have laryngitis, so I'll be as brief as possible. I have really excited right now because we're in the midst of our car raffle. We're selling raffle tickets. Always have them with me. They're $40 each, 20 of which goes to the school designated on the raffle ticket. And we're only selling no more than 4,000. So the odds are 4,000 to 1 when you buy one ticket. I'll let you figure out if you buy 2 or more, if the odds change any. I'm not a mathematician, I'm a lawyer. And everything culminates at our Celebrate Education dinner on April 21st. That's when we pull the ticket out and find out who's getting the opportunity to drive an electric vehicle, graciously donated by Joe Jockman at Martin Chevrolet. Should always say that over and over again. The dinner tickets are $175 this year. We're limited to about 220 people at the dinner. It's always an exciting event. I encourage everybody watching, everybody here to make an effort to be there. I know some people have already told me they're out of town and can't do it, and we'll give you a pass on that. On March 30th, even before the dinner, we're meeting with the Skechers Foundation and the Friendship Foundation to receive a big check. I'm expecting this to be a very big check because as Dr. Stowe helped me push it out there, we were #1 in the Skechers walk. And so I think we get the most money out of that. Looking forward to seeing that. Speaking of the Friendship Foundation, we're forging a partnership with them. Miss Marion and myself met with them. We have another meeting coming back up to see if we can get Friendship Foundations in more of the schools of the city of Torrance. It's really great for developmentally delayed children. We really appreciate the efforts that they're doing. And it's sort of like Best Buddies, but a little different. But it's a great program. And then, of course, we're preparing for summer school. The South Bay Educational Academy is operated by the Education Foundation, all the volunteers on our board, as well as a couple of our staff members. We're very happy this year that we have South High, County Mayor, and Hickory. And we're forging another partnership with the YMCA at Hickory, so that maybe we'll be able to have early drop-offs for some of the elementary parents who really have been asking for that, and maybe after-school care as well. So keeping our fingers crossed that everything comes together. Any information that you need about the tickets or the raffle or the dinner, you can contact the office of the TEF 310-972-6970. And that's if you want to buy tickets. You can call up and we'll take care of it, or you can go on our website. It's TEF4kids.org. Thank you all very much and appreciate allowing me a few moments. Now I'll go home and rest my throat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Fury. And we should thank everyone again at all the school sites who helped us be number 1 again So next year would be a three-peat, right? Good, good. We hope for that. And then as far as the car raffle goes, you should know that all the gentlemen to my right and down the line have already purchased at least one ticket. Some have purchased more. Now I'm working on my left side over here.
He forced us to buy out. He forced us to buy. That's
Told them if they don't buy the booklet that I have to. All right, moving on to the superintendent's report, Dr. Stowe.
All right, thank you, President Gerson, board members. Good to see you all tonight. Just a brief update on a few of the things that our students and staff are participating in this past month. We had Paris Rudison and Zara Simon from West High. They're in the Black Culture Club at West. They were able to participate. In fact, Zara read a poem that she had written at the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce Black History Celebration this past couple weeks ago. There's a picture with the two girls and Chief Hart and Principal Murata, who is here in the house with us tonight. Also, so last Thursday and Friday, we had professional development for staff. Friday, Dr. Ferris and Carrie Skoll in Human Resources put together just an amazing event for about 400 of our classified employees came, many of them on their day off, came to participate in some activities, learn some new skills, learn some things that are going to help them both personally and professionally. Schools First was there talking about different retirement plans and savings programs. Dr. Sue Key did a program, an hour-long session on customer service. She's one of our high school assistant principals. Dr. Butler and Dr. Ferris had engaging and humorous programs, the sessions that they led as well. And everybody really walked away with a positive note. So it was great. And then on Thursday, our school sites had student-free days. Our teachers engaged in all kinds of activities, from developing better PLC systems to analyzing student work to other professional growth, team building and so forth. We had Torrance Fire out at and some members of UCLA Health over at Fern Elementary. This is a picture of Fern there on the top, where they took part in a hands-on Stop the Bleeding program, and this is directly related to some of the things that we're seeing in schools, but also just in your personal life. If you witness a car accident or something like that, and the emergency room doctors who did the sessions and the nurses both at Fern and then also on Friday for our staff development day for classified, just really good advice and good advice. I think we all need to know that if you ever come across someone that is bleeding, do whatever you can to stop that person from bleeding, whether it's just, putting a cloth on it, pressure. That was basically call 911 and apply pressure was the takeaway. So something we're really going to look at for hopefully training all of our staff on this, because again, you never know when you might come across someone that is in need of support. Hull Middle School, I know a lot of our schools do this. I just happened to be visiting Hull the day that they had their Student of the Month ceremony. They called it something a little different. I don't exactly remember, but the parents came, the students were called out. Parents brought lunch for their students. For students whose parents weren't able to get there, the school provided the assistant principal and principal went out and got lunch for those students. So just a great event. A lot of positivity, and like I said, it happens in a lot of schools. I just happened to be at Hull the day they were doing it and wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Not sure if you stayed up late a couple weeks ago. I didn't, but I saw it on YouTube the next morning. Remy Martinez, who has been here at our board meeting in the past from Arnold, appeared on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon in New York. And so she was also the recipient of a $5,000 scholarship on the show. And he had 3 different students on there doing science experiments, and she was the best. So it was really neat to see TUSD represented on a national stage. Really neat. Also in the science realm, South High, their Torbots team placed 3rd in a digital animation contest. A couple hundred teams were in that. And so again, the robotics team, I know at all the high schools, they're gearing up for their competition coming up here soon, but this was an early first robotics competition that our South High students placed in. Mrs. Reagan's already mentioned the Honorary Service Award dinner that we recognize all the people that well, not all, we recognize many of the people who have spent many hours in our classrooms and in our schools and in the community with supporting organizations. And so always a special night to recognize those folks. And then finally, I had it's the first time I've ever been asked to participate in a career day. It was pretty cool. It was fun. And so got to, go back to my roots in middle school and speak to 3 different groups of 8th graders, but I was by far not the most engaging. There were our district plumbing team was out there talking to the students about plumbing, electrician, and that. There were Coast Guard representatives there. We had lifeguard and fire and police, and even former astronaut Garrett Reisman, who's a parent here in TUSD, was there to be able to talk to the students about what it's like to be in space. So it was a really great day, very positive, and I think the speakers liked it as much, if not more, than the students. Many of them the first time to be in a middle school since they were in middle school. So it was fun getting a chance to talk to them. So that is my report. And this will, again, as the last month, be on our website under my page, or maybe our communications page.
Thank you, Dr. Stowe. All right, 9, oral communications, unscheduled hearings, which are also non-agenda items. The Board of Education welcomes input from the public. Speakers wishing to address the board on non-agenda topics have completed the appropriate submission form on the district website or in-person speaker card. Time allotted for public comments on non-agenda items is limited to 3 minutes per comment and for a total of 30 minutes. A speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another. Is the timer ready?
Yes.
Very good. I have a card from Rudy Kraus.
Okay. Well, let's see. Go this way. Video. Okay, here we go. That should start. Okay, there we go. Okay, my name is Rudy Kraus. Last time I was here, I was talking about COVID science and the anaerobic nature of the COVID virus parasite. My book, 2021 Origin of the Species Homo sapien vaccinicus, Human COVID Virus Parasite. The vaccinated have now branched off the tree of human evolution. They have parasite D inside of them. 16,000 parasite genes in their genome is now parasitic. The most important thing here is the word anaerobic. COVID is an anaerobic virus. Anaerobic means without oxygen. What they did was they used an aerobic approach for an anaerobic virus. Now that don't make no damn sense. You need an aerobic approach for an anaerobic virus, an anaerobic approach for an anaerobic virus. COVID is an anaerobic virus. Now, why are all these people having heart attacks, myocarditis, the heart attacks, the vaccine-induced heart attacks, and vaccine adverse reactions? Well, it's because COVID is an anaerobic virus. It has an anaerobic mitochondria. The anaerobic mitochondria releases an anaerobic adenosine triphosphate response that then attacks the human host, who is aerobic, when they do too much exercise and exceed the virus site's oxygen tolerance level. Does that make sense? Of course it makes sense. That's why the football player, he started exercising too much. He was vaccinated. He has an anaerobic parasite inside of him. It says, oh shit, you're doing too much, bringing too much oxygen in. I got to stop you. I'll shut down your heart. And that's what he does. That's what the virusite does. And that's what it does in all these cases. Now, what we have is we have different sizes of these viruses. There's the spike protein, nano size, atom size. It grows micron size 1,000 times, becomes a parasite. That's a result of them aerobicizing the virus and making it be able to inhale a little bit of air that also allowed it to make a quantum leap in evolution to go from being some nebulous virus to its next stage of development, where it becomes a full hard-bodied parasite that looks like a pupa, like a squid. So then you've got the micron size, then you have the inches and feet size. This is a big one. And this is like 4 inches by 8 inches. This was in someone's lungs. But the Epoch Times, they did an article about one that was 6 feet. So it grew, when just real quick.
That's our 3 minutes.
Most of you have this size. This is atom size.
Everyone gets 3 minutes. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for your time. Oh. Do I have any, that's my last card. Do I have anyone online?
There's no one online.
Thank you so much. All right, now we move on to discussion action items. Speakers wishing to address the board on agenda topics have completed the appropriate submission form on the district website or in-person speaker card. Time allotted for public comments on agenda items is limited to 3 minutes per comment. Time allotted for each agenda item is 30 minutes per topic. A speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another. I do not have any of those cards. Is there anyone online?
No one online.
Thank you. All righty, 10.2. Approve revisions to the Independent Citizens Oversight Committee bylaws, first reading. Dr. Stowe.
Thank you. And as always with board policy and or bylaw changes, you can choose to waive a first reading and proceed to actually adopting if you choose to at this point. So we have 2 items that have come forward from the Independent Citizens Oversight Committee and their bylaws for you to consider for potential change. The first is under 5.4. The committee does actually fill out an ethics policy that is part of their bylaws, but in the bylaws as written, they should also be filling out the Form 700 Statement of Economic Interests. However, one of the ICOC members was doing some research and looked at our board policy and said, well, but it's not required in our board policy. Why is it in the bylaws as additional disclosure? So did a little bit of research and have found that it has never been submitted by members of the ICOC. So even though it was in the bylaws, it wasn't something that was followed. It's not required as part of your board bylaws. And so the ICOC said, we'd like to be in accordance with board bylaws. So we'd like to remove that requirement. But again, there's still an ethics policy that they do agree to. The second item.
Before you go to the second item, let's deal with the first.
Oh, sure.
Would anyone like to waive second reading on this?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It was actually a second item within that bylaw,
Oh, I thought you
but
meant.
that's
that-
okay. And it was just making it a quorum of active members, meaning ones that have not turned in their resignation.
Right.
So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I thought the second one is this one, which is to approve 2 members to the Torrance Unified School District Independent Citizens Oversight Committee. One finished his term up and the other resigned.
Correct. And so we have 2 members that have responded to calls for more ICOC members. One is representing the taxpayers group. So Michael Nataki is a member of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association and would like to fill that chair on the Independent Citizens Oversight Committee. And then Mara Pagliano is a CBO in a local district, my same job in Hawthorne, but she's been a resident of Torrance for more than 20 years and is willing to serve on the ICOC as well, if the board were to approve her.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Well, now we reach the consent agenda. Would anyone like to pull any items?
I make a motion to accept all consent items.
Second.
Oh,
It's been moved and
I'd like
seconded.
to pull 15.7.
All right. The polling of 15.7. Any others, Mrs. Park?
No, that's all.
All right. Can I have a motion for all consent agenda items except 15.7?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Mrs. Park, do you agree?
Yes, aye. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. All right, 15.7. Let me find that here. Approval for Torrance Unified School District's student services to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Hazel Health. Mrs. Park?
Yeah, I was wondering if you could explain what Hazel Health is and how students can access these services.
Mrs. Crumpy?
Um,
Sorry, Dr. Crumpy.
Thank you. So Hazel Health is a new memorandum of understanding through a grant with the Los Angeles County Office of Education. That has so the master contract is with LA County. That then we would join with LA County to provide online virtual services. So it will expand mental health service opportunities for our students beyond what we're doing during the school day, and give additional services for them virtually through home. I think there's a 6 to 8 week turnaround time once we approve tonight for us to then start working and getting the training to get this on board. And it puts us in a time where when we don't have counseling and mental health opportunities at a great amount during the summer, it will provide valuable mental health or virtual mental health services for students wishing or needing those services during the summertime. And then we would be able to kick off in the fall with expanded services.
Thank you,
And-
Dr.
and-
Crumpy. Additional
Yeah,
questions?
and
Mrs.
how
Park?
will students be able to access the services? Will they need referrals from counselors, or is there a portal that they can access? Can they self-refer themselves to access the services as well?
Yeah, they will be able to self-refer with a parent permission approval. So there is a parent permission slip as part of the MOU to not to disclose any of the information during the counseling, but that there's an adult in the home that is aware that counseling is going on, so there can be supervision as needed.
Great. Thank you very much.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I move to accept 15.7.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Excellent. Comments from the board. Mr. Hahn?
So just a quick comment from SoCal Rock. Basically that we have decided to raise the JPA fees to $15.30. And so Dr. So you must have gotten an email regarding that JPA fee increase. We're currently continuing our search for our new superintendent, and that's going to be ongoing right now. But those are the pretty much two. We're hiring a consultant. We'll consider hiring a consultant to do strategic planning for the SoCal Rock. And so those are the three main initiatives that we're planning for SoCal Rock at right now. Just a couple of personal reports is that again, this Friday is Invention Convention. So again, it's a big thing. So it's a big celebration. We want to wish everybody luck. It's one of my highlights of the year. And so I just want to remind people it's this Friday. And so it's at Torrance High School itself. And so we want to wish all the people the very best. Also, I want to wish my colleague congratulations again. For those of you who do not know, our colleague Jasmine is not here. Mrs. Park is not here because she had a baby. So congratulations to Jasmine on her baby. So we're delighted for that as well. And again, we had a lot of fun events with Torrance Council PTAs. The Reflection was a great event. We had a lot of fun, and congratulations to all the honorary service award winners. Thank you.
Mrs. Liu?
Thank you, President Gerson. First of all is my LAXTA report. LAXTA is Los Angeles County School Trustees Association. They have their meeting, or they had their meeting tonight, and the guest speaker was Dr. Victor Rios. He is a professor of sociology at UC Santa Barbara, MacArthur Foundation Chair, and he was also, a lot of us have heard him speak before because he was a former speaker at the annual education conference put on by the California School Board Association that we most of us go to, and has over 1,000 school districts attending. The topic tonight was accelerated learning recovery through improved student family engagement. I'm sure it was another great speech that he gave. And in terms of my normal comments, I want to also extend my congratulations to the PTA Reflection Art Contest winners. and the PTA Honorary Service Awards winners. As a self-proclaimed artist and judged for many different art contests, I thought that the art coming from the PTA Reflections was amazing. It's amazing what some of our students are achieving, and they are definitely very creative. So I would like to encourage all students to continue on and participating in that nationwide PTA Reflections art contest. Also for honorary service awards, President Dr. Gerson was also there, and we both handed out different recognition certificates to the various winners. I was an honorary service award winner a couple of times, and also a honorary service award chair for various schools. And I know firsthand that these parents, volunteers put in a ton of hours, are very dedicated to the volunteering work for their respective schools. And I want to thank them, and recognizing them in this wonderful ceremony is just a way of showing everybody what great things that they've been doing. And I do not have any classification anniversary reports for this month or for this meeting, but I do have my usual two recognition of resolutions proclaiming April to be the public school month, and also proclaiming April to be school library month. As a PTA mom myself, a former PTA mom, I'm not a PTA mom anymore on a school level because I'm here, but I was also a school librarian at our elementary school, and it's just a wonderful time. And I want to encourage everyone to not forget to go to a library once in a while. It's really worth it. You get smarter. And kids, you can use an actual book that is printed on paper instead. Get your eyes off those digital screens once in a while would be great. And the last thing I want to mention is that tonight, President Gerson is going to join the meeting in memory of a retired teacher, but also a South High student graduate named Kristen Kumagara. I personally know Kristen Kumagara. She was a beautiful, vibrant, very smart young lady. I believe she almost graduated she was so close to graduating from undergrad. And I just want to let everyone know that she is very open about her disability, and that while she was a full-time student, she was also working and advocating for disability rights for others. And so I think it's a loss for everybody, for our community, that she's gone. And I just can't believe that another wonderful life and young life is gone. So I just want to recognize that real quickly before I hand it back to Dr. Gerson.
Thank you, Mrs. Liu. That was very nice. Dr. Mohammed?
Thank you so much, President Gerson. I really had a good time attending the Torrance Council of PTA's reflection celebration, and it was really fun, participating in that event. I do look forward to the regional convention this Friday. So I think that will be really fun. And then we do have a Cherry Blossom Festival coming up on Sunday, Columbia Park. So those of you that are around and can attend that, I think that'll be a really good event. And I usually attend that one. So hopefully I'll see you on Sunday as well. And then on Monday, there are two events that, it's just part of the season, I guess, lots of things to attend. And one is Visions of Unity, I think their 23rd annual award celebration. At the same time, I'm also interested in the Winter Guard and Percussion Night, West High. So definitely be making a decision which one to go. Maybe I'll just let my wife decide that one. But no, definitely looking forward to that on Monday as well. And then last but not least, it is springtime, and those of you who celebrate Nowruz, which is a new year, Persian New Year. So I just want to wish all of you a Nowruz Mubarak. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Park?
Yes, thank you very much, President Gerson. I want to say that this experience is very different joining a board meeting with a newborn snoring in my lap. He's a personal heater. And I look forward to introducing her to the community at some point. But yeah, I just also wanted to send our appreciation to our school librarians and those who make knowledge equitably accessible to so many in our community. And also are very excited about our partnership with Hazel Health and just finding more creative ways to make sure that mental health and counseling services are also more accessible to anyone who wants them. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to welcome baby Aria. We can't wait to meet her. And I'm also looking forward to all of the events coming up, including those that you mentioned. So let us adjourn tonight in memory of South High School graduate Kristen Kuagawa and retired teacher Richard L. Rufel. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.